G'day and welcome to the Grow a Small Business Podcast. I'm your host, Troy Truan. Each week, we speak with an owner who has grown a business with 5 to 30 team members to something bigger. Diving into their numbers and unearthing the pain they've experienced, we explore what they did to overcome each barrier and what they would do differently from day one. Let's get into it.
Welcome everyone. Today I'm interviewing Troy Bennett, the CEO of Bennett's Petroleum, based in Hobart, Australia. And today we're going to be discussing awareness of your levels of energy to create and lead a business and a team of employees on a daily basis. So thanks for your time, Troy.
No, you're welcome. Glad to be here, Michael.
Yeah, that's good. And this topic really fascinates me. And, we met many years ago through mutual friends, but more recent times, the last 3 or 4 years, we work together on a monthly basis. We're sort of help from a coaching perspective. And I guess this has been a topic that you talk about quite regularly and the importance of it, which got me thinking. And I guess to the extent of making it and raising awareness of the importance of it and how you deal with it. So I think it's a great topic that any small business owner will get a lot out of. So looking forward to this chat, mate. So maybe just give us a little bit of background and insight into this topic and let's have a little bit of a chat.
Yeah, look, obviously there's probably books and there's YouTube discussions around energy already. And you can take that theory and apply it if you can. So my learning was trying to make the Olympics back in the 80s and 90s in the 100 meters and 200 meters. And so I had to be really aware of my energy output on a daily basis, from how much sleep I had, what foods I ate, how many massages I had a week, and how I felt when I needed to run fast. So from understanding and being aware of how I felt, I obviously got a good indication that when my energy levels are high, I ran really fast. And when my energy levels are low, I didn't run as well. 2% performance breakdown or decrease in 100 meters is actually the difference between making a final and not making a final, say 10.4 compared to 10.7. So 2% lack of energy is actually the difference between winning and losing. So that's how I start to learn about the benefits of making sure that you were up for the events and therefore up for the days that need to matter in your life.
Yeah, that's I love the connection between sport and business, and I guess you've sort of give us a bit of an entree into your background, which is obviously sports related. So I guess tell us how you sort of now have translated that into running a business of around 300 people.
Yeah, look, it's first you have to be very aware of your emotions and your physical being on a daily basis. Physically for me and emotionally being strong means that I'm mentally really strong as well and really creative. If I don't sleep very well that night, then I know that the next day that I'm going to be worn out by 12 o'clock. So I do as much as I can in the mornings. If I'm not feeling good at all, I actually don't even want to talk to anyone, because I know that my quality of my conversation and my engagement will nowhere near be what my people deserve. So I actually avoid seeing people when I'm having a low energy day. I may consume information, I may do some analysis, but it's very, very it's private rather than having to lead or engage with people or make any decisions at all, and definitely don't sign anything.
Yeah, and interestingly, we've recently launched a Transform Your Performance short course, which is a free one. And I guess there is sections in there about, I guess, the studies have shown morning, you've got more energy and focus. And so I guess building habits around that, to your point, but equally, I think acknowledging if you do have a shit night's sleep or whatever, that, don't force the issue and actually put off those important decisions or whatever it is that is going to be impacted.
Yeah, look, you're only as good as your decision making, Michael. You're only as good as your decision making, and if you're not creating or deciding favorable outcomes for you and your employees or your business, it's going to fail. So you need to be thinking as well as you can on some of those bigger subjects or some of those bigger decisions, if it's daily, if it's weekly. And I definitely don't make a decision if it's rushed or you feel scattered in your brain or you honestly emotionally are down. It's not favorable. In actual fact, when I go on holiday, for example, 3 or 4 weeks over summer, I put into my energy calendar the next 3 months is when I'm at my best for the whole year, and I attack and I really make sure that I make as many decisions as I can when I'm feeling in that period between probably February to April was when I'm feeling the best I will do for the whole year. And that means that I'm aggressive. That means I make decisions and take more risks because I feel like I'm able to, because the decision making is more clear and I have the energy to counter any obstacles that do get in the way.
Yeah, no, I love that. So you referred to an energy calendar. So I guess is that essentially, as you say, in that sort of first 2, 3, 4 months back from a good break where you're recharged, actually focusing in on those key decisions or projects or whatever in that period, hence your energy calendar?
Yes, definitely. That's when you're most creative. That's when you come up with the best solutions. I was only yesterday with my COO and my architect, and what came out of my what was in my mind and what was communicated was something I've never heard myself talk about before. And you can see the light bulbs go on with my CEO and my architect, exactly what needs to happen over the next 12 months with developments, for example. And it's something I can't do very well in winter. It's something I can't really do very well in spring. But in February, March, and April, when it's still a lot of light and a lot of sun, and I'm well rested, I can come up with some really good ideas and concepts. So it does work for me. And other people may be different other times of the year. But around Christmas, for example, I make no decisions. December, there's too much information coming in from too many Christmas parties, for example. Depending what phase of life you're in, I have children, so they're finishing up school, for example. So I do put off making any major decisions in December. That's when I'm at my lowest. And when I only really listen, not only listen, but when I listen and engage with people on probably more on a superficial level rather than a really engaging level, because I don't have the energy to actually give them what they deserve. So I try to keep it short and light and move on very quickly from those conversations, for example, as probably most people do, because by December, some people are pretty low on energy, as I am.
Yeah. I must say that I was certainly in that boat leading up to Christmas last year, and for various reasons. But again, like you say, it can be, if you're looking at a year, it can be a long year, and then you packed in with Christmas parties and the like, and it just does wear you down. So
Yeah.
I think a bigger picture too. You mentioned taking 2 or 3 weeks in summer. I think that comes back to, as business owners, making sure you do take regular breaks, to your point. So you're maximising on your energy throughout the year.
Yes, Michael, in the performance world of sport, you can do a 3-week block of hard training, one week off, or 1 week easy, maybe 2 weeks hard, 1 week easy, or it could be 2 months of foundation training or conditioning. But you've got to make sure that after a period of time of working aggressively or working in a focused, concentrated way, you need to have a break. There is no way you can be at, I guess, at high octane thinking 52 weeks a year. It does not happen. and you'll be burnt out, and you'll make poor decisions, and your business, unfortunately, won't be as successful as it could be if you're making considered, relaxed, but focused decisions in a creative manner.
Yeah, that's a really good tip. And I think that, like you said, starts on a daily basis, getting appropriate amount of sleep. And then on a regular basis, actually getting some time out of the business. And getting time out of the business is that, not just going away and not be present with your family, whoever you're with, and on your computer or whatever. That's not a break, right? So
Yeah,
I think there's some really good tips that we talk about in some of our courses, but I think people understanding that, their body, how they're feeling, because your point, everyone's different. So it's just understanding your own body, how you operate, but when are you at your best? And obviously there's a flow through to your people, right, and your team. So, I mean, in that context, do you do any sort of mentoring and coaching or talking to your sort of teams, or at least your management?
Yes. Look at that. Yeah, I don't like to set too many meetings per month, like 2 months or 3 months out, because I don't know what my energy levels are going to be for that day and that time. But I have to, because it's the world of business, and people need to know what they're going to do on a month-to-month basis. So when I am in an executive meeting or a retail meeting, and it might be for 3 hours or two or 3 hour meeting, and I have lots of energy, I might be there for 3 hours. But if I'm not right with my energy, and I'm at low energy for the day, or for that week, I'm there for half an hour only, half an hour. I can't let my people see me yawn. I don't want them to see me tired, or angry, or confused. I need to be at my best. So it is perception as well. So I might go in there for half an hour and really be really focused with what I say, and get to the point very quickly, but I'm out of that room quickly as well. So that's how I manage set agendas to help for other people to be there, but I need to make sure that I'm at my best all the time I'm in front of my people. And if I'm not right, then if I'm a little bit sick, I don't go, because that's not great leadership. They will see you tired, they'll see you negative, and it's very hard to keep up for 2 or 3 hours. And so therefore it's best not to be there. Quality decision, quality thoughts, quality conversation.
Want to become the best manager you can be? Check out our Kick-Ass Manager course at growasmallbusiness.com. Do the course, then add your fellow managers for no extra cost. Join the 30%. 70% of people quit their job because of their manager.
Which, like you say, is a big part of leadership. And I think, it comes back to understanding yourself, your body, and where your mental state around your energy is at. So you can be confident to make those decisions accordingly.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing wrong in doing that. In fact, it's quite appropriate. And I think, your team, your employees actually appreciate that at the end of the day. And obviously that then can hopefully rub off on them per se. And,
that's right. You're leading, and we talk about energy, and we talk about being at your best, and focused, and making sure that you're not maybe compromising your leadership or your decision making by actually forcing yourself to be in a room or having a meeting when you should not be there, based on your emotional or mental or physical being. So yeah, it runs right through the company, and I know it does take place. I know it does actually lead to better decisions and better outcomes, decrease operating costs, and increase revenue, because you actually are more creative in your decision making.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's the business outcomes that translate. Unfortunately, too many small business owners need to get that mindset and understand that by doing this and being conscious of it, being disciplined around it, it does make a difference to them, their business, their people, and the bottom line ultimately. So
Yes, you have to understand that of course I get confused, I get anxious, I get angry. I have all those emotions like anyone else does. But it's the way you manage those emotions, and making sure that the people that you employ don't see those emotions too often, because it's they want to know that you're actually in control and that you have the answers. As probably as narrow-minded that is, that's the perception that people have. They want to know that the leader is actually in control of the business or the company. Otherwise, they start looking around.
Yeah, I think it's like anything. There's the balance, obviously, that you know, they don't want to necessarily feel like you're a robot at the other extreme either. So
Yeah, no, spot on. Exactly right. So in some of these discussions I have, when you hear some information from an employee that is not the right process or not great performance, when you're creatively in tune and you have the energy, you can come up with a fantastic dialogue to actually make sure that you are forceful, or you get your point across in a manner which could come across as being angry, but you're in total control. You're not losing control of the words you're using, and you always bring it back to facts, or you bring it back to the situation, the context. When you lose control, you lose context. So it's a conscious awareness. Like I might throw some F words around here, but it's a conscious F word, and so to make your point. So that's what I mean by being aware and having energy. You can take the room down to a more quiet level. We can bring the room up, but it's a conscious decision to do that.
No, it's a good point. So I think there's some great tips and insights from you for our listeners there. So just what are some, I guess, some key recommendations that you could suggest our listeners start implementing for them in their business?
Oh, look, it's really starts with your nutrition, your sleep, getting those habits right, and obviously general exercise, walking, swimming, making sure that you're quite a healthy person physically. That'll make a big difference to your energy levels, obviously. And as you get older, I'm 54 now, I need to work on my energy levels and what I do outside business more than I ever have done, because my metabolism's slowing down, and therefore that affects my emotional and my mental energy. So again, depending on what decade of life you're in, you need to make sure that you're moving appropriately for the decade you're in. And I definitely don't do any long jogs or sprinting anymore, because that really mucks my nervous system up, you could say, and I actually get exhausted from that. So I do more gentle exercise now, do a bit more yoga and meditation, and so that helps my body and my spirit from my age, for example. So pick your decade, and if you are, and getting back to exercise, if you do a hard workout today, for example, and you've got some major decisions to make tomorrow, don't do a hard workout today, because you'll be fatigued and your energy will be low for those decisions you need to make tomorrow, especially if you get up early, catch a plane, go to Melbourne, and you did a workout 8 p.m. the night before. Don't do those sort of things. Understand the week, understand when you can fit your training in, but don't do it before major decisions or major board meetings or major supplier meetings or whatever the case may be, creative meetings. Don't exhaust your body before you do that. And it's probably one of the biggest tips, is understand. Again, that's why I call it the energy calendar. Understand what you have that month, that week, and manage your health or your habits around those important days of the week or month, and you'll be a lot better off. For the next 3 months, I don't drink alcohol, because I know I'm at my best. Alcohol will make me sleepy and tired. So maybe drink more winter, because I'm not actually going as hard in winter.
Yeah.
So while you're hot, make sure you do the best you can with the energy you have, and put the runs on the board and sit back and see the results come in.
Yeah, no, that's great, mate. Really appreciate your time. A great chats and great insights for our listeners, and I'll see you soon.
Thank you, Michael. Very enjoyed it thoroughly. Thank you.
Thanks, mate.
That's it. Thanks for listening. Please leave a review in iTunes or whatever platform you listen to us on. It means more small business owners will find our cast and help people with their business growth journey.